The sun is shining. People are moving to Canada right now as we speak because Trump got elected president, and pretty much people are wondering why the fuck did Netflix actually do a 6-picture deal with Happy Madison Productions, right? So here's the thing. Let's talk about True Memoirs of an Assassin, right? So True Memoirs of an Assassin is the third film of this Happy Madison production, deal with Netflix. Now, we've had The Ridiculous Six, god awful. I mean, it was just a circle jerk with Adam Sandler and his friends playing around in the West. The Do-Over was pretty much a very decent movie at first, and then it just kind of goes off the rails, and it doesn't even know where the hell they want this movie to kind of go. And now we have True Memoirs of an Assassin. All right, so how does this movie stack up? Because my expectation was quite low, and I'm about to tell you this right now. It is the best Netflix film that Happy Madison has kind of given them just to begin with. Now, that's not saying much, just to be honest right now. Now, the best parts about this entire movie really, and it baffles me why they didn't utilize it very well, is the first 15 to 20 minutes. And the first 15 to 20 minutes is great. I mean, like, they have a style that actually could have worked very well. And I feel like the tone and everything they kind of set up in the first 15 to 20 minutes is really how the film should have carried out. But after those first 15 to 20 minutes is over, you just kind of go into a typical kind of comedy that you usually get from Happy Madison, or any kind of like generic comedy that probably could have had the same premise to begin with, right? Now, for me, just in general, I find the plot of this movie actually quite interesting. And I actually thought they did a very good job at carrying out the plot. And I was actually invested into this shit. The problem is that the story and the setup and how everything kind of flows through is a little bit sloppy. And then it gets convoluted. And I'm talking about it's more convoluted than like Metal Gear Solid explained to a bunch of 6-year-olds. That's how fucking convoluted it gets sometimes. They just add shit and it doesn't even make any sort of sense. Andy Garcia is in this movie and he continues his trend of weird 2016 movie roles. From this to fucking Ghostbusters to fucking Max Steel. I was just like, where are you going with your career right about now, bro? But it's just like one of those things to me, just to begin with. I overly think that this movie isn't actually a comedy, but it does a lot more better with the action. A little bit. Than the comedy. I feel like the comedy is a little bit light to begin with, and I feel like it just kind of doesn't really do anything for me. And I didn't really laugh, but I was entertained by what was on screen just to begin with. Now, Kevin James can be funny. Hell, Kevin James is funny. 10 years ago on his best work, which is King of Queens. And this movie, he's not really the greatest to begin with, and I feel like the guy just kind of falls a little bit flat here. He's doing what kind of comes naturally to him, and it just kind of feels like he's doing it lazy, you know? And I feel like when you can tell an actor is lazy, you can really tell. He's kind of lazy here. The guy's doing what comes natural to him, which is just kind of like the bumbling buffoon that we've seen in every fucking Kevin James movie ever. Simply put. Overall, Memoirs of an Assassin, True Memoirs of an Assassin, gotta get that right. It's just that it's not really great. I do find it funny, though, that the movie pretty much talks about having good writing, and the movie actually has shitty writing. It's directed by Jeff Wallow. He did Kick-Ass 2. And it does a good balance of like violence and kind of, you know, comedy. And I did think, I was wondering if they would have a bad mix of the two, but they actually do a good enough job with them to begin with. And I guess there's slightly a moral of the story to begin with, which is just like, you know, go out there and experience shit if that's what it is. Or maybe I'm giving these fucking people that did this movie a little bit too much credit. Overall, if you enjoy Paul Blart, then I guess you'll enjoy this. If you enjoy Kevin James and everything he has done since the beginning of time, and, you know, just to begin with, then I guess that would be great. Overall, this movie is an entertaining mess, but it's the best Netflix film that Happy Madison has given them, as I said before. And if that's good enough for you, then congratulations. I think that's going to be a good job. Other than that, there's nothing really to speak of. The people in this movie is, you know, you get some Happy Madison people that you've seen before. You get the typical shit. But overall, I was entertained, unlike the other two movies. So that's a positive in my book. But that's my thought. Comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.